You're tuned into Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Hafner's, it kicks. And by Boston North Company, restaurant and retail solutions for your business. That's Boston North. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to the Inside Lowell Studios. I am your host, Teddy Panos, going to give you another inside view of the Lowell Summer Music Series this morning because they have a big month of July and an even bigger month of August coming up. So very pleased to welcome into the Inside Lowell Studios kind of the driving force behind the Lowell Summer Music Series at Boarding House Park, Peter Aucella. Good morning, Peter. How are you?
It's tough for me to think about being the founder of a series that's in its 33rd year. So just feeling old right then.
I think the audience, I don't know if I had the right camera angle, but they might have missed you wincing when I said the driving force behind it. But in fairness, you had that silver hair long before you had done 30 years.
Prematurely gray. Yes.
Exactly. It's silver fox.
Now it's just plain old white.
So how you doing? You had your kickoff in June. Mother Nature did her best to dampen it. But,
well, we had Leonid and friends from Russia doing Chicago, Earth, Wind, and Fire music like that. We were indoors for that at Lowell High School Auditorium. It was a great place to see the show. Nothing like being in the park. I mean, you want to be in the park. We can't sugarcoat it. Sure. But we carried off the show, and people had a blast with them. They were a lot of fun and terrific. And then we were outdoors playing hide and seek with the weather, but we ultimately got a good night in for Keb Mo, who is called a blues guitarist, but his songs are just, he's a singer-songwriter. He's a lot of fun, a great sense of humor. So we pick up in July with Saturday, July 15th. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about before that.
Before we get to the first show, July 15th, the next activity at Boarding House Park, as they just concluded the fireworks and 4th of July celebration there, actually free fun for kids on Wednesday, July 12th, right?
Right, 10 a.m. and Thursday, July 13th, 10 a.m. What happens there is we have free art activities for children. We have they get from, and that's courtesy of the Lowell National Park, free children's books are given to all the kids from Project Learn, free natural and organic snacks coming from various sponsors, including Stonyfield yogurt and Home Free cookies and, several brands. In addition, the Lowell Public Schools Nutrition Program provides free lunches for kids 2 through 18 who are at the shows. So that's a tremendous thing. That starts at 10. At 11, we have a stage show. So on Wednesday, Wednesday, July 12th, the Hot Tamale Brass Band. We actually had them for the first time last year, and a lot of the parents were saying this was the best show ever because it got the kids doing a second line all around the park. I mean, the musicians were out with the kids, and it was a lot of fun, and the kids were totally into it. So that is, again, that's 11 a.m. On Wednesday, July 12th. On Thursday, July 13th, we have the return of the Yo-Yo Guy, the yo-yo world champion. I bet you didn't know there was one.
We'd have loved to have covered that competition.
Yeah, Guinness Book of World Records, the whole thing. So a lot of fun. And again, however little the child is, you can have fun with music and you can have fun with yo-yos. So, and then also in July, Wednesday, July 19th, Trend in Motion Hip Hop group, they're doing a dance show around the Animal Kingdom theme. They've got some costumes and whatnot. And Thursday, July 20th, Actual Animals with Curious Creatures, which has been our largest attended show for years. People just love curious creatures, and they get not only to see the animals, but learn a little about the animals from the MC who's explaining this. And afterwards, you can pet the skunk, the chinchilla, the alligator. I'm not kidding, the alligator. Actually, last year, you could pet the tarantula. So I know I'm selling this to the home crowd.
Listen, you don't have to sell it to me. I brought my kids to that 2 years ago, and they had a ball. Both the Curious Creatures and the Magic Show as well. So it's a lot of fun. Trust me, if you can keep my kids entertained for a half hour, 45 minutes, and keep their attention, you're doing something right.
So this is our 33rd season of the Lowell Summer Music Series. It's also the 33rd season of Free Fun for Kids. So it's a tremendous thing to provide free entertainment. If you're home with the kids, 7 days a week, and the idea of getting out for a couple of hours, a couple of days a week, getting free stuff, you don't have to open up the purse or empty out your pockets. It's free, and nobody's guilting you. Nobody's asking you for donations. We don't do that. Your kids get some things and free and some activities, and then they get to see a show. And the show's about 45 minutes. That's about the attention span of most kids if you can keep it that long, and we hope they keep it that long. So anyway, very proud of this series. And our series sponsor, and this will be no surprise, is the Nancy and Richard Donahue Charitable Foundation, who are the leads on just about everything in the community.
You're not the first person to sit in that seat and thank the Nancy and Richard Donahue Foundation.
And we have a lot of other support. Anyway.
It's a ton of fun. And I'll tell you, it's very popular because whenever I promote their schedule on our social media, the Free Fun for Kids, we get a ton of reach on it. Parents really like to share that. And I bet, now that we're about 3 weeks since the end of school, I know from mine, they're starting to get antsy. They need a little getting outdoors.
And sticking 1 or 2 of these a week into your calendar of how to entertain the kids, it's a great opportunity and free. Completely free.
Kicks off again Wednesday, July 12th, Thursday the 13th, Wednesday the 19th, Thursday the 20th, plus a bunch of shows in August. You take a week off only because you got to get ready for this little event called the Folk Festival that we will talk about, but the music returns on July 15th. Dawes. Tell me a little about Dawes. What do I need to know?
So Dawes is kind of, we've had them before in 2017. They're a terrific group, very accessible for people who love actually 70s and 80s music, even though they're a younger group and they're very contemporary. Formed in Los Angeles, influenced by the gentle acoustic style and rich vocal harmonies of the Laurel Canyon sound, which would be Crosby, Stills, Nash, Joni Mitchell, that sort of thing, as well as the shambling, I'm reading this now, it's shambling romanticized Americana of the band. So, that kind of a thing. They've built a really loyal following. They've had big shows in Boston at the Wang in the last few years, at the Wang Theater, at the Orpheum, and more recently at Roadrunner in Allston. Now, it is not germane that the lead singer is married to Mandy Moore. That is just a bonus. So Mandy Moore from This Is Us. Right. So
she had a music career before she did that stupid show. Did she tour with him?
I'm not promising anything.
But you're not denying it either.
We've had more people come to our Lyle Lovett concert saying, I got to see him. He was married to Julia Roberts, so he must be good. So anyway, they kind of broke through, Dawes kind of broke through in 2011. And they've had a bunch of great songs, time spent in Los Angeles, and things happen. And when the tequila runs out,
ooh.
Yeah, and the follow-up line is...
That's a rough day in my household.
When the follow-up line is, you'll be feeling no pain. So they got a great sense of humor. Their latest album is actually a little more on the jazzy side, kind of in the Steely Dan realm. So if you like anything from Crosby, Stills, and Nash to Steely Dan in that range, you're hearing contemporary, very creative musicians at their best. They got a number of albums out, and definitely worth seeing. So, and again, you can go. First of all, get your tickets at lowellsummermusic.org. And that is the best place to get tickets, so you're not getting, there are so many websites that convince you that you're on our website or any other venue. They're not picking on us. And people are paying big markups because they just picked the wrong website. lowellsummermusic.org. It's our website, and the ticketing is there. And also, you can just go down to Lowell Memorial Auditorium box office, 50 East Merrimack Street, and pick up the tickets without any ticket fee. And that's a real advantage. So.
And should be noted that your shows, all of them, no matter how well known or kind of quirky the acts are, best prices you're going to find. You're not going to see them anywhere else in America for the prices you have because of the type of organization.
We're nonprofit. We have a lot of sponsors. We're still trying to make the economics work, and frankly, we've got some bands this year. We've got a number of bands that are costing us over $50,000 per band to put on, and that's just the basic fee before you get into all the add-ons and expenses and the green M&Ms, so which are expensive. So anyway, let me tell you, Dawes loves to play. So they're going to be playing 2 sets. So you'll probably see about 3 hours of Dawes on the stage. They're not coming out to do a little quickie.
Wow.
They're really there to play. So, and as I say, they were with us in 2017, did the same thing, and people were blown away by them. So I recommend you check them out. You may not know them. They're not a household name. If you listen to a station like The River, you'll say, oh, I recognize that song. Things you've heard that you might not know the group. And the last, prior to our 2017 show, the prior time they were in Lowell, they were opening for Bob Dylan at the Tsongas Arena. So that's part of the history there.
All right. So that's on Saturday, July 15th. Then Sunday on July 16th, a real big one that when we last chatted, you told me it was your best-selling show of the summer so far.
Yeah.
Are there still tickets available? We're talking about Andy Grammer.
No.
Well,
here's the story.
You're such a buzzkill.
Really. So Andy Grammer, very popular pop singer, Emmy Award winner, multi-platinum artist. He's got a slew of albums. I don't know if I have it written down here, but he's had some great, 3 billion global streams, nowadays everything's streaming, and social media footprint of over 4 million followers. He's had some great songs, Honey, I'm Good, Keep Your Head Up, Fine by Me, Don't Give Up on Me, Fresh Eyes, Good to Be Alive. These are fun, upbeat songs. He is one of those people who writes very positive stuff. So he's not. This is not. Not the blues. My baby left me. All that kind of thing. It is really a very positive, affirming kind of music, and he's got a reputation for that. He actually put out a new single called "I Need a New Money," and it's really about people assessing other people based on their job, their income, their status, instead of them as a human being. And so very interesting approach. He was big on a Capital Fourth, not in 2023. In 2022, I saw him on that national show. We have fortunate to have backup locations when it rains. So for some shows, we go to Lowell Memorial Auditorium. Sure. On this date, we go to Lowell High School Auditorium. The problem with that is Lowell High School Auditorium is a little smaller than Boarding House Park. So, and to be specific, 1,800 capacity, 1,850 at Boarding House Park, 1,600 at the high school. We have reached that 1,600. So if the weather is good, we'll put 250 more tickets on sale. And we might not know that till the day of, the day before, a couple of days before. I mean, if it looks like a good forecast, we might get bold and put some stuff on sale. But right now, and the last week or so is really when sales pick up for a lot of shows. And there's going to be a lot of people surprised that they can't get a ticket for the show.
Now, anyone who's bought the season passes is able to go to any show they want. They're included in that 1,600.
They are. And so our sponsors, because we got a number of sponsors who have tickets. If you're interested in indie grammar, and it's going to be a real upbeat, lively show, and it'll be terrific, you can go to the LowellSummerMusic.org website, and there are a number of places. Right in actually, if you're on your phone, it'll come up right on your when you open the phone. There's a message that said more indie grammar tickets may become available. Okay. And if you click on that and read it, it's saying, if the weather's good and we're outdoors, we can put more tickets on sale. Click here and put in your email address, and you'll be the first to know.
So you get on a kind of a wait list for the notification.
Right. Okay. So that's what people need to know about the Indie Grammar show.
You'll have to send us a little release, and we'll get that out on Inside Lowell as well. We're gonna predict good weather, but keep our fingers crossed, right?
Very. I just realized I lost my my next bit of information here. No, I didn't.
Oh, no, we know lots about the next act, which is actually another free show, another special treat on July 22nd. Now, you're going to hear some of the greatest music scores, some of the most well-known music scores for free from the New England Film Orchestra, which also, if I'm not mistaken, it is directed by, conducted by a downtown Lowell resident. Is that still the case?
That's true. Her name's Gina Nagar, and she happens to be the conductor of the New England Film Orchestra, which is, by the way, a 56-piece orchestra, and it will have several guest vocalists as well. So when they do something like Skyfall, you get the Adele version, of the song. These folks we got together with back a couple of years ago, and we have been charging admission for their shows. And this year we tried to figure out ways to do this as a free show, to invite everybody in to hear what this sounds like. I remember the first time I saw them, they opened with the Star Wars theme. And the sound coming out of the stage was just overwhelming. It was just unbelievably good. And, of course, the sound is pristine and beautiful, particularly if we're outdoors. And they'll do things like the Harry Potter theme, James Bond themes, like Skyfall and whatnot, Little Mermaid, Jurassic Park. So they've got a Top Gun. So they have a lot of great music to work with. And this time, the whole family can come free.
I was just going to say, sounds like a fun show to bring the kids if they've seen any of these, especially the Disney movies, right?
Sometimes kids haven't been exposed to an orchestra live, number one. And number two, if they're exposed to an orchestra, it can be very heavy classical music. And this is very much pop music in the sense these are film scores. They're popular music. So the kids, may not have seen Top Gun, but they might have seen Jurassic Park or Harry Potter. Okay. So it's really very accessible for them, and it'll be just a nice night out for folks, free of charge. And we're very proud to be able to do this.
Yeah, we're very fortunate here in actual Lowell. We have the Lowell Philharmonic Orchestra, which is Lowell musicians, plus the New England Film Orchestra being conducted by a Lowell resident. Some great classical music as well. And this is free, which is awesome.
Right. So we're trying to see, can we make this work? Can we do it again in the future? But really, I hope people take advantage of this. You won't be disappointed. This is, everybody's good. I'm going to say it. Everybody's good as Boston Pops. You come out there, you're not going to hear second rate. You're not going to hear things out of tune or anything. These guys are pros, and the singers are amazing. They had a woman a couple of years ago who sang the Goldfinger theme from James Bond, and man, she hit it perfectly. So I don't know if they'll be doing that one, but anyway, the point is that's Saturday, July 22nd on 7:30 p.m. free show at Boarding House Park.
Perfect. Speaking of free, 2 full days and 3 nights. Well, 2.5 nights of free music. The Lowell Folk Festival rolls in July 28th through 30th.
Right.
It's on your calendar. It's not officially
it's not a summer music series program, but we're
you're an integral part of making sure that goes on at Boarding House Park.
Well, I'm on the Festival Foundation's advisory committee. The Folk Festival and the Lowell Summer Music Series are both presented by the Lowell Festival Foundation, the nonprofit, and we all work together to support these events and to help them be financially viable. And I believe the Folk Festival, this is the 36th year. And I'll tell you, last year, the organizers were worried that after COVID, people might not want to come out into big audiences and whatnot. Place was packed.
I think one of the best ever, if not the best ever.
And let me tell you, the music is going to be awesome this year. It always is, but they really went out of their way and they had some time to think about it and actually bring some acts that couldn't come last year.
Awesome.
There's a lot of that going on. So
good to hear. July 28th through 30th, the best weekend in the city, the best weekend in New England,
and
the
free
entire summer, and free.
Yep.
And we'll save the food talk for the Folk Festival, folks. But we're excited about the music.
If you want to eat ethnic food, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
But where do you get in to see 4 stages with 25 bands, a crafts area, a kids area, the ability to kind of taste a little music and then kind of walk around. If you don't like it, go see something else. It's really, and roaming around the festival is part of it. Just the stroll, Yeah,
we're probably preaching to the choir, but if you're watching us and you've never seen come to the Lowell Folk Festival, you have to come down for at least one of the 3 days.
36 years, folks. If you miss 35 of them, it's your time to come down. And check it out.
Doing something
at least one day.
And then you go from a kind of a gradual, increase in shows here at Boarding House Park. Man, you go all out in August. You've got 9 shows in August. If I throw September 1st in there, which might as well be August, you've got 10 shows. What the hell were you thinking?
What we were thinking is that we thought some of these shows or other shows would end up in June and July. They end up where they end up because that's when the agents say this is where it fits in their schedule. They can come if they're allowed to play those dates. So we take them when we can get them. But actually, after the Folk Festival, Wednesday, August 2nd, we do have a kid show. So that's the Airborne Comedians doing their physical comedy. So a lot of that humorous, physical comedy. Very. Fun thing for kids to enjoy. And then we come in Thursday, August 3rd. So
you come in hot on Thursday, August 3rd and Friday, August 4th. Lyle Lovett and Melissa Etheridge.
Right. So
that's a heavy-hitting week.
Yeah. Well, and Sunday we have Pink Martini that same weekend. So
you're going to have to explain Pink Martini to me.
Well, all right. So let's go back to Lyle Lovett. So first of all, he had an album, so I'll just say it. He's not big, he's large. It's not big, it's large. That's the theme of the large band. So it's not a big band in the sense of the 1940s, 1930s big bands with an array of horns and there was a certain mix. He does have horns. It's a 13-piece band, but he's got a cello and a fiddle and a lot of other stuff because they're doing country, but they're doing swing music, jazz, folk, gospel. He's got some gospel songs and blues, and it's let me tell you, this is his 6th time at the Lowell Summer Music.
Yeah, he likes our city and that stage, doesn't he?
Well, we don't invite anybody back 6 times unless they're pulling in a huge crowd and the people are just soaking it up. He's an entertainer, and most people who don't know him look at him and say, well, he seems like a quiet guy, and he plays an acoustic guitar most of the time. That's all of the time. And he doesn't, what does he do exactly? Well, the songs have incredible humor in them. The band is full of crack musicians, and you will find yourself blown away by the stage show. So it is truly entertainment.
Yeah. You called him an entertainer. I was actually thinking of the word, he's a pro. He knows how to do this, how to interact. But actually the word entertainer is so much better because that's what it is. It's kind of all around, and you really have to kind of see him in person to get it.
Right.
I think.
And so he's got 14 albums, 4 Grammy Awards, an American Music Association Trailblazer Award. So he's right on top of his game. And again, every musician in his band really is, and you'll know it. So he's going to do one set. He's going to come out at 7:30 and play for 2.5 hours, which he's done in the past. So like I say, it's a show. No
break?
No intermission. The band's out there, and they're
what the hell? You got
ready to
13 band members. A couple of them can go to the bathroom while the others play, right?
I think that probably happens.
So that one is Thursday night, a special Thursday night show.
August 3rd.
And then the next night is the one my wife has already said you can work early in that evening because, we're probably going to get a pretty big crowd at the Athenian that night. But she's like, we're going to see Melissa Etheridge on August 4th.
So, she's really an icon of rock. And it's funny, I used to think of her as kind of a folk performer. I mean, I pictured her with an acoustic guitar, singer-songwriter and whatnot in the early days. But she was always a rock performer.
Yeah, she can. You can see her do some heavy metal if she needs to.
She does rock out. And she's done a Janis Joplin cover, Piece of My Heart. So she can handle it. She's got 16 albums, 2 Grammy Awards, and an Academy Award. And the Academy Award was for Best Song at the Academy Awards for I Need to Wake Up, which was written for the Al Gore documentary, An Inconvenient Truth. So social policy as well as rocking out. So she has been here in 2015 and 2017. She, too, is going to have no opener. She's going to do one long set, and no intermission. And you're going to get all the Melissa Etheridge and all the Lyle Lovett you could possibly want in those shows. So they'll be very strong shows. So and believe me, she plays. Come to my window. I'm the only one. I want to come over. Those are classics.
Tickets available for both shows?
LowellSummerMusic.org, both shows.
Okay.
Yep.
And just in case of rain, is that you have the auditorium lined up for those guys? We don't have any.
Lowell Memorial Auditorium for Lyle Lovett. Lowell High School Auditorium for Melissa Etheridge. So get your tickets early just in case we max out there.
Her, yeah.
And then on Sunday, August 6th, first time act, Pink Martini, featuring China Forbes. Pink Martini is called a little orchestra, and they say they do classical, Latin, traditional pop, jazz, a little samba, a little bossa nova. So you've got stringed instruments. I think there's a couple of horns, and it's a sort of jazz combo, and a pianist who will remind you of a young Liberace.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, the hands are flying. Is
there a candelabra?
No, but
can we get him one?
Yeah, Thomas Lauderdale is the founder of the group. By the way, they're based in Portland, Oregon, and they've played with the Boston Symphony. They played with 50 orchestras around the world, including the Boston Pops, Los Angeles Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl, National Symphony at Kennedy Center, and the BBC Orchestra at the Royal Albert Hall in London. They've got 11 studio albums, and there's a following for Pink Martini.
Okay.
And it's very.
This is one of those. I looked at your schedule. I'm like, who dat? And
so I want to urge everybody, if you don't know these groups, because we're unable to play music here today, go to LowellSummerMusic.org, and there's under each photo of an artist, there's a little button that says Artist Info. You click on that, and yes, there's a bio, but there's also 3 or 4 videos of that artist. So if you want to see what's the big deal about Pink Martini or Lyle Lovett or whoever, Dawes, go there.
And they're usually, the videos you post are usually them performing live somewhere. So you hear what it sounds like. You realize you're not getting somebody that's digitally mastered. You're not getting Milli Vanilli, right?
Right.
I think I just showed my age
Yes,
there.
yeah, you really did. I favor the live videos, and there are many, many good ones with good sound. When there isn't, I'll go for their official video that maybe came out with a song. But you can count on seeing at least a few live numbers. By the way, New England Film Orchestra, we have several videos on there, and one is a compilation of songs they did at the Summer Music Series in 2021. So you can hear how good do they sound doing Star Wars or Indiana Jones or whatever, James Bond. You hear it right there. So no doubt. So anyway, that's Sunday, August 6th. So we got the Folk Festival, One Kid Show, the Airborne Comedians on Wednesday, August 2nd, August 3rd. Thursday is Lyle Lovett. August 4th, Friday, is Melissa Etheridge. On Saturday, we rest. On Sunday, Pink Martini. Yeah, unless you rest too much. And
then you keep going throughout. You've got a ton of shows that we'll talk about as well.
By the way,
Pink,
the lead singer of Pink, they have several singers that sing with Pink Martini and have recorded with them. The one coming to us is China Forbes, who attended Harvard with Thomas Lauderdale way back in the day. And when he was forming this group, even though he was out in Portland, Oregon, he recruited her. She lived in Cambridge. I don't know if she still does. And great voice. And by the way, they sing in like 25 languages. I'm sure the show will be 90% in English, but it is just amazing to see their recorded body of work. And again, you can go to pinkmartini.com and see them in all kinds of situations.
And the place to do everything that we've discussed. See the show lineup, listen to the acts, read all about their history, and the most important part, purchase those tickets, because some of these shows are getting close to the limit. We already know Andy Grammer is lowellsummermusic.org, your one-stop shop for all of it.
And again, the cheapest place you can get the tickets. And we're just horrified by what some of these secondary market people are doing. And again, whatever venue you're going to, you're very likely to be fooled into thinking you're on the right site. So be very conscious. And if it says, tickets.com or whatever before it says Lowell Summer Music, you want to go to lowellsummermusic.org.
And you can also go to the Lowell Memorial Auditorium box office.
Great place to buy the
box office and get your tickets there. Save a few bucks on the ticket.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're glad to have you do that.
All right. Peter Aucella, Lowell Summer Music Series, Boarding House Park. Man, you're going to be rocking from here on out. I hope you enjoyed your last couple of weeks off.
Yeah, it's over.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. And thanks all of you for joining us here at Inside Lowell. As we like to say, if Lowell is your home, this is your place. Till next time, stay safe, everybody.